today in C1Risk training, we're going to be looking at the GRC library and showing you how to add obligations, so any regulation or standard of your choosing to the GRC library in the C1Risk platform. So the C1Risk platform is a completely what we call compliance agnostic platform, meaning you can add any regulation or standard that is in scope for your compliance requirements. It's a very simple process. We have a central repository you can draw from, or you can add your own at any time, or send them, of course, to C1Risk support, and we'll put them in there for you. But let's show you how we do it. Very simple process today, and let's get into the training. Okay, so once you come into your platform, one of the things that you should know about C1Risk, if you've gone through the onboarding session, but just to give you this piece of knowledge, is that we have a number of different central repositories that you can draw data from. Generally, they're available from your administration tab. However, in this case, with the GRC library, what we can simply do is go into our obligations tab, and here we see and all of the different obligations that we've already loaded during the onboarding session. But if we decide that we want to add additional obligations, we have a couple of different options. So first and foremost, we can go to the C1Risk central repository and just do a lookup. And in here, you'll see everything that's available to you. Note that you can order it, or you can just do a simple search here. So if we're looking for ISO, we can find all of our ISOs here. If we're looking for CMMC, we can just do that keyword search. And then when we find what we want, we just select it and click apply, or if you want to select multiple, you can as well. So you see we've already got one selected. We can add more if we want to by doing that extra search and then just click apply. Once you click apply, they will automatically populate in your library for you. Similarly though, if you just want to add something new and you don't see it in our library, you have another option. You can just do add new, and you can build this in yourself here by just putting in the obligation name. Just going to do a test here, the version. And then we just need to click, that's all we need to put in, and then we can click save. And then from here, we can start building out sections and control libraries and so on and so forth. Now that is a long process, because obviously that's a one by one, record by record. So the other way that we recommend is that if you do have any regulation or standard that you don't see in our library or that hasn't been added during the deployment process, just reach out to support@c1risk.com or to your account manager, and we will bulk upload that obligation for you. So another thing we just wanted to let you know about as well, is a great thing about C1Risk is we have also crosswalked a lot of our obligations as well. So if we go into, let's look for one of our ISO obligations, for example. If we go into ISO 27001, what you'll also see here are the crosswalks with other related different standards and regulations. So you'll see the relation here, and we can Google that, we can search in here as well to find crosswalks for specific obligations like AICPA, etc. So for example, as I write in SOC 2 here, you see I get all of these SOC 2 crosswalks that are mapped to ISO. So that's another very, very handy part of the C1Risk GRC library. That's going to help you with your control consolidation for internal controls. And then finally, in terms of updates, we do also update these regulations on your behalf. For example, we do have the PCI DSS update for 4.0. We've got the ISO 27002 update in there. There's just a couple of updates that happened this year, and we continue to add those. So we will always add those on your behalf, and we do that in the back end in our system, so you don't have to worry about those updates. All right, so that's the GRC library and how you add obligations, and that concludes our training for today.